From the bustling cities of the Silk Road to the windswept steppes where warriors trained, the strength of the Mongol Empire lay not only in its military prowess, but also in its social structure, cultural achievements, and legal system. Today, let's explore how the Mongols wove together war and peace. Welcome back to Echoes of Empires. Join us as we bring you the most epic stories of triumph and tragedy from across the globe. Before we dive into today's episode, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Now let's get started. The Yassa held an even greater significance. The Yassa was more than just a legal code. The day unfolded according to the roles and responsibilities of each member of the family. Their love for horses was evident in the care they took to ensure their animals were well fed and groomed. Their nomadic existence often led to clashes with neighboring tribes, and defending their way of life required constant vigilance. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the land, the Mongols gathered once more, this time to share stories around a crackling fire. These evenings were filled with tales of heroism, folklore, and historical events, ensuring their traditions and values were passed down through generations. Children on their ponies would be separated from adults to prevent accidental injury. Then the signal would be given and the chase would begin. The Mongols would form a large circle, sometimes miles in circumference, their horses thundering across the grassland. The aim was to drive the animals towards a central point where the real test of skill and strategy began. They valued every part of the animal and used its skin for clothing and its meat for nourishment. The great hunt might have been over, but its lessons and camaraderie would echo in their daily existence. They packed up their belongings, ensuring everything was in order, a testament to their deep sense of organization. Then, as the night drew in, they settled down, ready to rest before the next day brought forth its own challenges and opportunities. After a successful hunt, there were feasts and celebrations, strengthening the bond within the community. The Nerge was a microcosm of their society, emphasizing their resourcefulness, respect for nature, and their commitment to community. It was a testament to their unique way of life and their ability to coexist with the environment around them. The speed and agility required to navigate the vast open spaces was matched only by the stamina needed to keep going until the end. This wasn't a sporadic activity. It was a carefully planned event, often taking place during the summer months when the weather was favorable and the herds were plentiful. And so, day after day, they lived out their lives on the endless plains, bound by tradition, united by the thrill of the chase, and committed to the legacy of their unique way of life. And the love for their way of life continued to guide them under the watchful gaze of the eternal blue sky. The Nerge may have ended, but the spirit of the hunt, the essence of community, it was a time of communal effort, a test of individual skill, and above all, a celebration of their bond with the land and its creatures. Do you find the Mongol traditions fascinating? Are you intrigued to know more about their unique way of life? Please feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. The oral tradition thrived, keeping their history alive and their spirits high. Each successful hunt not only provided sustenance, but also reinforced the bonds of kinship and loyalty that held their society together. But alongside their military conquests, the Mongols had an unusual passion, hunting on a massive scale, a tradition known as the Nerge. This wasn't just a sport for them. It was a test of their skills, a ritual connected to their spirituality, and a key part of their everyday life. The Great Hunt was more than just a hunt. It was a microcosm of their world, where strategy, unity, and respect for nature came together in perfect harmony. And their preferred method was to surround and corral their prey using their knowledge of animal behavior and the terrain. During the summers, when the weather was best suited for such hunts, the entire community would participate, making it a social event as well. Nerge was not only about acquiring food, but also about maintaining order and practicing warfare strategies. They learned to work together, coordinate, and strategize, skills which were later crucial for their military victories. It was a sight to behold, a spectacle of skill and precision, and a reminder of the power of community in a world that often seemed boundless. These weren't just mounts, they were partners in their lifestyle, aiding in hunting, herding, and trade. Likewise, their respect for nature was profound. Men, skilled horsemen from an early age, they understood the delicate balance of the ecosystem and ensured that their activities caused minimal disruption to the environment. Resourceful and practical, they used every part of an animal, whether for clothing, food, or tools. Nothing was wasted. They performed rituals to heal the sick, protect the community, and seek guidance for the future. In these moments, the vastness of the sky and the fragility of human existence were acknowledged, reinforcing their connection to the natural world. As the stars twinkled above, the Mongols drifted off to sleep, lulled by the sounds of their own making, ready to face a new day in a world that demanded resilience, adaptability, and unity. Honed their archery skills or cared for their horses, it was a testament to their military genius and a celebration of their deep connection with the land and its animals. It was a ritualistic affair deeply rooted in their culture. The objective was not just to procure food, though that was a byproduct, but to experience the thrill of the chase, testing their skills against nature's bounty. The preparation was as important as the event itself. Scouts would be sent out to locate the herds, which could number in the thousands, from horses and cattle to sheep, goats, and antelopes. It was about collective responsibility. It was the backbone of their society, the framework that held their world together. The choice of quarry depended on the season and the needs of the community. Women were equally adept at riding and managing the household, looking after children, milking animals, and crafting everyday necessities. And forward-thinking that they not only regulated their social interactions, but also influenced the very course of their empire. Family life was not just about individual duties. We're going to look at how these two events, where the spirits of adventure and conquest ran high, there existed a profound principle that guided the everyday lives of its people. Meals were shared, stories were exchanged, and decisions were made through discussions, reflecting a deep sense of community. When Genghis Khan united the tribes, he introduced the Yassa, a set of laws so comprehensive. Imagine a day in the court of Genghis Khan. Disputes were settled swiftly and justly, thieves faced harsh punishments, and traitors had no place in their ranks. Such was the impact of the Yassa. For the Mongols, the land had its rhythms, seasons that dictated their lifestyle and demanded respect. Picture this: the sun rising over a picturesque landscape, painting the endless grasslands with hues of gold. The Mongols awaken with the dawn, ready to embrace a day that might bring new challenges or adventures. Their morning rituals were simple yet meaningful. Prayers to Tengri, the eternal blue sky, were a common practice, as were offerings to their ancestors for guidance and protection. The Nerge and the Yassa shaped the Mongols and how they managed to combine the thrill of the chase with the need for societal order. How did the Mongols balance their love for freedom with the necessity for rules and regulations? We will answer these questions and many more in today's episode, so make sure to watch it till the end. Summer brought lush greenery, perfect for hunting and trading. Autumn meant gathering the precious animal skins needed for winter survival. Winter itself was a test of endurance, with the biting cold forcing them into smaller groups closer to their fires. And then spring would come again, bringing hope, renewal, and the promise of new life. Now let's dive into the heart of the Mongol world. First, there was the Nerge, or the Great Hunt. It was an event that took place during the summer months when the land was carpeted in green, and the days were long and bright. The entire clan would participate, transforming the hunt into a mass spectacle of skill, strategy, and teamwork. Thousands of men, women, and children would ride out, forming a giant ring around their prey. Horses would thunder across the plains, herding animals like a single organism driven by a shared purpose. Subsequently, to the uninitiated, it would appear as a chaotic dance of dust and thundering hooves, but in reality, it was a display of unmatched coordination, an example of how the Mongols became masters of logistics on the battlefield. Picture this: you are amidst a sea of tents stretching as far as the eye can see, each one a home filled with the laughter of children, the murmur of adults, and the comforting presence of family. Or Great Hunt, the entire tribe would participate, coming together as one entity focused on the task at hand. Was more than just a pastime for the Mongols. Evening was also a time for spiritual reflection. Shamanistic practices were common, with shamans acting as intermediaries between the physical and spiritual realms. The smell of cooking fills the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the endless grasslands. This is the Mongols, a people whose lives revolved around these temporary homes, each one a portal to a world shaped by tradition, resourcefulness, and strict law. Images of fierce warriors on horseback. The Nerge came to an end, and the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in hues of orange and purple. The Mongols prepared to return to their daily lives. Sweeping across vast landscapes come to mind. The Mongols had a deep respect for their prey and saw hunting as a way to maintain balance in nature. But life wasn't solely about the warmth of the yurt. Deer, sheep, and goats. Amongst these cyclic patterns of life, two standout events held particular significance, shaping not just their daily existence, but also their identity. But the second event, today, in the vast realm of Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire, as the day progressed, The Mongols continued to live by principles that ensured not just their daily survival, but also the continuation of their rich cultural heritage. But the Mongols, with their deep connection to each other and their surroundings, were more than ready to face it.